Hey boys and girls, and welcome to another how to draw tutorial with Mr. P. What is up? Today we are going to be drawing something a little silly, and it looks something like this. Aha, hungry unicorn. Okay, let's get started. So as per usual, I am going to start with an eye. Center of the face of my character, nice big circle, and I think I'm gonna make it look kind of silly, kind of cute, so I'm gonna do a nice little semicircle or a C in the top corner, and then I'm gonna follow it up with another C. It looks like he's looking up and to his right. From here I'm gonna go ahead and start on my nose, or in this case the snout. I'm going to start with a nostril, so it's just going to be a nice, long, skinny C. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to the top of the nose, so the top of that snout. I'm going to end in a little bump, then it's going to go straight down with another tiny little curve. I think I'm going to give this nostril a bit of dimension and go just on the inside edge of it with another C. Make it look deeper. Okay. Start with the nostril around, and we're going to start closing off that snout to give it some shape. Now if he's eating, he's going to need a big, full, chubby cheek. Then I think I can start my other eye here. A semicircle, and then again, a tiny little C with another C around it for the pupil. Make sure that pupil is in the top left corner so that it looks as though it's looking in the same direction. Alright, let's start our horn. This is easier than it looks. It's just going to be a bunch of C's that are sort of on their backs, and they're going to get smaller and smaller until they come to a point. So the next one you do is going to connect, but it's going to be a little bit skinnier, and then you're going to do that again and again and again until you get right to the tip. And at that last little tip, instead of doing a C, you're just going to do a tiny little oval. And there you have it. You've got a nice little unicorn horn. Fix it up if you have to. And then let's move on. Okay. From here, I think I'm going to start shaping in a little bit of mane. So I'm just going to do a vertical line up and curve it back. And then a few lines between the horn and the mane. But I'm not going to connect any of them. Just tiny little straight lines. And before I move on with the mane, let's add in an ear. So we're going to do a little eyebrow over the eye, and that's going to go right into an ear. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to connect the horn to the eye to make that eyebrow, and then the same shape, maybe a bit smaller, on the opposite side for an ear. Now let's fix up that mane. I think we're going to go all the way around with some nice curved V-like shapes. And those little check mark-like things are just going to connect. And keep going until you get to the spot that you like. However long you want your unicorn's mane to be, that's up to you. And then I'm going to do the exact same shapes over on this side. But notice they're a little bit smaller. And these V's aren't going to connect until they get right down here. He's starting to take shape now. Okay, let's move on to the mouth. We'll leave the mane for a little bit. So right under that nostril, we're going to create a little lip. So let's connect these two. So you've got almost like a rectangle with some curved corners. And now somewhere between the cheek and that nostril, we're going to start creating the rainbow-like hay that's in his mouth. And of course, I have to close up the mouth first. Maybe give him a little pronounced cheek. Make him look happy. Now for a bottom lip. And just the edge of the jaw. And maybe a little cheek on the other side too. One line across the nose should define the shape of the snout. And let's give some shape to the body of the unicorn now. So I think we're going to do a neck. It's just one slightly curved line just below the hay. And then another slight little bump there to show a shoulder. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So a straight line that curves out around a shoulder. And I think I'll make the hay stick out on the other side of his mouth as well. So some quick feathered little lines should do the trick. Alright, let's finish up the mane, I think. A few little touch-ups here. Connect the mouth to the snout. Ooh, and a nice little line there to suggest a second nostril. From there you can bring that mane down with a few more of those check marks or a nice little zigzag. And let's make them nice and plump. Just to make him look extra sweet, I'm going to give him some nice thick eyelashes. So he looks really innocent while he's taking a bite out of this rainbow. Who, me? Maybe even color in the pupils while I still have my marker in hand. Okay. From here, let's continue that arm from the shoulder. So it's a straight line with a little bend at the elbow. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but notice it gets a little thinner, so they come together. And at the bottom, I'm going to do a little curved shape for the hoof. Let's do the same thing here. I'm going to bring those arms kind of close together as though they're sitting on his belly. He's a very well-fed unicorn. Nice upside down U shape. And then let's close off those hooves. Again, just curved lines, and here I'll do an upside down V to show the knuckle in the hoof. Okay, we'll connect up that mane and finish up the curve of the belly. And from here, I think we can go ahead and start on the tail. Okay, so it's going to come from around the back. It's going to be a big swooping curve that comes all the way in front and then comes up in front of the belly. I'm going to give it a bit of a swirl here, like a piece of cotton candy. And then underneath that hoof again, notice it comes almost together. And that little line there is going to connect down to his leg. Put his feet together. So we're only going to need one line between them. And then of course the same shape as the hooves above, I'll use down here. Close those hooves off, and then that little upside down V to show the knuckles. I think we'll have a nice big rainbow coming from a cloud just over here. Cloud's an easy enough shape, so we're just going to do most of the cloud, but we're going to stop so that we can start drawing the rainbow in front of it. And this is going to be a big curved line that goes from the center of the cloud. And notice I stop here and leave a little gap, and then it's going to pick back up maybe an inch or two or 2 or 3 finger spaces later. It's going to continue all the way around our unicorn to the top left corner of our page. And now I'm going to start with the different lines in that rainbow, but every time I'm going to stop just a little farther. And you'll see why. And again, I stop. This time the space is a little bit closer, so I'm going to slowly close that gap. Maybe just one more. And then I'll finish up the cloud by closing off where the rainbow meets the cloud. Just little upside down U's, and then between each U, I'm going to connect them with another upside down U. That's going to give the impression of a nice bubbly three-dimensional cloud. Now I'll do the same thing, but these ones are going to be upside down. So on every point of the cloud, I'll do a little upside down C. Maybe a few more here, but I'm going to turn them over. And there you have it. Now, this unicorn can't be floating, so I think we're going to give him another little cloud to stand on. Alright, now let's fix up this rainbow. And I left these spaces here to make it seem as though the hay in the unicorn's mouth is actually a bite taken out of the rainbow. So closing off the rainbow should be easy. It really just needs to look tattered or torn. So I just did a bunch of little zigzags there, closed off that curve to make it look like, well, our unicorn is pretty hungry. Oh, forgot to finish up our belly here. Looking pretty good. I think we need something though. I think I know what we're gonna do. Let's draw ourselves a witness. Our unicorn thinks that no one's watching. So again, I'm gonna start with that circle for an eye. But this time, notice where I put my pupil. Right in the bottom left corner of the circle, so that it looks as though my sun is looking down in the direction of the unicorn. Alright, now to make him look nice and shocked, we're going to draw a wide open mouth. So just a big C, and then we're going to close it off. And of course he needs a face. And around to make sure we understand it's a sun, let's do some V-like shapes all around. Alright, to make him look extra shocked, we're going to do some little upside down curves right underneath his eyeballs, and that's going to look as though he's really shocked. And to add to that, let's add a bottom lid on his eyes, which is just a straight line across the bottom of his eyes, just underneath his pupils. And of course, he's going to need some shocked looking eyebrows, maybe a little tongue. And there you have it. We have our hungry unicorn and his friend, the shocked sun. Let's take a look at how I colored this. So I chose pink and purple for my unicorn because that reminds me the most of, I don't know, candy and rainbows and unicorns and magic. For my rainbow, of course, I chose my rainbow colors and I put them in order, but I left out a few because I didn't make enough spaces. And then, for my sun, I chose a yellow and an orange. And for my background, a nice light blue. You could leave your clouds white, or you can color them whatever color you like, because, let's face it, this is your world and your hungry unicorn. Remember to like and subscribe, to follow Mr. P for more wacky characters. I will see you all next time.